Hey, it says once again that I'm live. That's a nice thing to know that you're alive, you know? I should do this all the time because it's a way of me checking if I'm alive or not. You know how that goes? I like it over here. I think is that better over there? Yeah, I think it's better over there. Anyhow, Lucy just walked in and walked out real quick. Told you she's not. I told her the other people before in the other video that I don't think she's real happy with me today, and I don't know why. But she's a little moody, you know. But you can't do nothing but help love this girl, okay? That's what it's all about. I keep waiting for this whole shelf that I had this attached to come down. It might someday. It'll kill me, but that's all right. Uh, so listen, that big story. It's one of these. There's a story out there that's just not getting a lot of coverage, as far as I'm concerned. They're still talking about Bondi, which is not in the United States. All right, it's in Australia. Was it a horrible tragedy? Was it a religious tragedy? Yes. But they got a guy that killed a couple of people over on Brown University. It's an Ivy League school in Rhode Island, and this guy's still walking around 5 days. They haven't been able to identify him or find him. And last time I saw something this take this a long time ago. It took him a year or something to catch the guy. He ended up in North Carolina or someplace like that. He never. They all thought he was in Sweden. Everywhere else was stayed in North Carolina. He never left. Uh, if this guy's a survivalist, he's going to be hard to find. Um, Although some of the worst weather we get all year long, especially up there in the Northeast, is on its way. Yeah, February and early March. They're not really, nice places. That's not a nice place to be. That's assuming he makes it through January. And January is going to have a lot of New Year's Eve gets a lot of tourists and the ski resorts and stuff like that. I don't think there's any of them in Rhode Island though. I think you have to go further north for that. What they have? Rhode Island's basically fishing, I think, clamming, stuff like that. Um, Crabbing, oysters, stuff. I think I don't know. I think they have a lot to do with the great white shark hunt. I don't know what time of the year that is, but they have a. I think that comes out of there too, or is that Massachusetts? I don't know. I really don't know much about Rhode Island, if you can't tell already. I don't think I've. I think I've been there. I've been to all the states, but I don't know whether I stayed there or if I just drove through on my way to Massachusetts. Did a quick turn to take a piss or something in Rhode Island. I don't know. Anyhow, uh, that's a big story to me, but they don't want to make a big deal out of it. Because obviously this guy's been trained in something, whether it's survival or sniper training or something like that, because he's been able to stay out of the limelight. And apparently he was there to kill somebody in particular. Now, did he kill the person he wanted to? I have absolutely no idea. Uh, but I don't want this. Go away. And wow, that was interesting. Anyhow, uh, again, I don't have anybody showing up. I don't know how you do that, or they just. I have to figure that out. Get a count of views and whatnot. But when I go down to the videos, I have 4 views. They just don't show you watching now. Ah, you sneaky little devils! You probably go see it after it's been up, you know. But anyhow, uh, this thing in Vermont makes me crazy. I mean, there are people in this country that are U.S. Marshal Service has people capable of tracking these guys down, but you got it always turns around that it's a FBI case, and they bring in locals, and this guy might be related to the locals, and you never know, because they don't know who this guy is. He could be one of the trackers. They don't know. They can't identify him. Trump is rattling his sabers again. Listen, he's giving a speech. Don't expect me to come on after the speech, all right? Because I got a book I'm reading right now, so I'm not coming back. Uh, he's giving a speech to the nation. I don't know what it's about, but I guarantee you, it's not going to be. He's going to go off script and start rambling and everything like that, and that's just either that or he's decided to declare martial law and fuck everybody. In which case, hey folks, you know that gun you got under your mattress? Time to get it out. But we'll see. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how people feel because people are shading their views. I could tell. I know people. Some of these people that I talk to, some of my friends and whatnot. I know their views, and they're actually out there shaping them so that they're not as violent or as crazy as they ordinarily would be. Everybody's got families, If they and listen, the kids may or may not agree with you, and that's what happens sometimes, I don't know who agrees. I have some people that agree with me sometimes and don't agree with me other times. They're called friends, people. You don't always agree on the same thing every day, Sometimes I'm so opinionated, people stay away from me. And that's okay. This isn't working. My neck is stiff. So anyhow, I liked it that side, but it's just my body doesn't like it on that side. Anyhow, so Donnie's, yelling and screaming, and he'll be yelling and screaming on TV tonight, and we'll see what happens. Meantime, I'm still trying to get my tools repaired. The company that makes the tool basically told me they can't help me because they're in the United States and they can't ship overseas. Well, how the hell did this saw get down here? I bought it down here. Somebody shipped it someplace. Yeah, wow. Means it's not manufactured in the United States, probably. Which make a lot of sense. It's too simple. It works and it's simple. I'm looking at what I talked about on the regular video. Well, I made the comment that Trump's not a Christian and has a special reserve seat in hell for him. And he doesn't. And obviously, with the Rob Reiner thing, he's not showing any Christian attitude whatsoever. And I don't think he's a Christian. Because I don't think it's somebody who's as narcissistic a narcissist. I said masochist in my other video. As narcissistic as he is, could possibly share the glory with somebody called God. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah, he's not going to do it. It's all him. He thinks he's a god. That's what kings are and were considered to be at one point in time. Pharaohs were considered to be gods. Rulers of countries back in the old days were considered to be gods because they had the power of life and death over everybody on a whim. They didn't have to go to trial. They didn't have to say he's guilty of anything. All they had to do was kill him. And they could do that. Trump wants that power more than anything in the world. I think. Probably not. He wants money more than he wants anything else. But he'd love to have that power. And that point would be, destined to terminate his life, I'm not sure. We'll find out something by watching him tonight. If there's anything wrong with him. I don't think the Republicans are dumb enough to let him go out there like the Democrats did with Joe Biden. And they can stop him if they want to, because their political careers are at stake there. So if he doesn't, if he goes out there and makes a complete ass out of himself, they're, time to push Vance forward. And I'm not sure I want that at all. Because I don't think he's as smart as he thinks he is. Okay? He's a wishy-washy person. He goes with he moves with the flow, and I don't think he's strong enough to be president. And Hegseth is they like each other, and that's a very very bad combination there. You know, Vance has got a good education and whatnot, but I just don't think he's smart. And that's something people don't understand. You can get a very, very good education and not be smart. Uh, or or you're narrow minded. Uh, and people say, "Well, what about your brother?" My brother was smart, and he had a way with people. People liked him when it came to simple things because he tried to make them more complicated than they were. But he was a really good guy. I mean, people all loved him. I mean, you could see the people he worked with on the ships and whatnot, and people that he ran into in life. I don't know about the people that he worked with when he was in overseas, but uh, when he was a captain of an oil tanker, people loved him. And I think he liked that. I really do. I think he really enjoyed being at sea, being his own boss, not have to worry too much. It's like me bartending. That was my own business. Yeah, I needed people to come through the door, but I had to make them stay. I had to make them spend money. I had to make them tip me well. So, without giving the place away. That's all, part of the deal. Um, what else can I tell you? He's a great guy, but, you know, not every genius is a great guy. Uh, some of them have sense of humors. Uh, some of them don't. Um, some of them, if you take them out of the particular environment, they don't appear smart anymore. My brother wasn't like that. You know, uh, he wasn't going to build a race car because I don't think he was that good with tools. But he could tell you, talk about engine combustion and things like that, no problem. Design flaws or whatever, but actually doing the work, I don't think he could. I don't think he understood that part of it. But that didn't make him dumb. And like I said, his biggest, to me, his biggest virtue was he was just a regular, really nice guy. He had some misunderstandings along the way, but we all do. And he corrected it at the end. I'm not going to go into what they were. It's a very, very personal situation. But he was a really nice guy, good guy, had a lot of friends. And I can't show you anything from the video's on tape. I never converted it to digital. I don't know whether there's people that still do that or if there's a program I can buy to do that. But I'd have to get a VCR player and everything. And I'm not into that right at the moment. But anyhow, he's a good guy. And I miss him. I miss him a lot sometimes. Sometimes I don't think about him too much, and other times he's front and center. He's front and center right now. You know, he's looking at me. He's trying to wait for me to say something stupid, which I have been known to do upon occasion today. All right, so the point I was making is I don't believe that Vance and Hegseth are smart people. I don't believe they have a high IQ. They're very deceptive. Vance is very comes across as very undecided in his thinking. Vance is very comes across as very undecided in his thinking. It's. I think he's a lot like Trump in the fact that he thinks whatever's best for himself rather than what's best for everybody else too. So what can I tell you? So listen, tomorrow night there's a football game. We'll talk about that tomorrow. First thing on the agenda tomorrow will be whatever Trump said tonight. All right. I'm not coming back tonight because it's late. And like I said, I just don't, I'm not sure I'm going to watch it. But I will go through all the analyzations and you know, the part that insults him, where he makes an ass out of himself. I'll go through that. But in the meantime, listen, you'll have a great day. Go find the subscribe button. I don't know where it is. It's not showing up on my video screen, so I don't think you get one with that. I don't know how you go about doing it. But subscribe to my channel. You'll get notifications. You go subscribe to uh, what's the name of the channel now? I think it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's the other videos. But by my name, and there's a little cat. Yeah, there's a little cat giving you the finger on my on the heading of my video. Not the monkey. Oh, before I go, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Damn, I'm stupid. I like to change that. I'm tired of the monkey. So if you guys have any suggestions, uh, I'm open for it. Let me know. I would use Lucy, but I can't train Lucy to give you the finger. Okay, everybody, listen. Have a great day. Try to find a way to subscribe to me. I'm up to 23. I need 27 more by January 16th next year. So anyhow, take care. Have a great day. And if your weather's anything like me, well, I doubt it's like mine because it's winter time up there. It's about 80 degrees down here right now. Very hot. It's our summertime. So anyhow, take care, and we will see each other tomorrow.